Now everybody, it's Republican senators who are wanting to pass a bill to prevent Social Security from being increased. Senators like Bill Cassidy are worried that the White House will let him do this, and now Senator Cassidy is meeting with other lawmakers to improve his current plan on protecting Social Security benefits. If passed, Social Security's insolvency program would be solved and benefits might be increased again. Now, some GOP senators are trying to lead an effort in Congress to protect Social Security, commonly referred to as the third rail of American politics. And Senator Bill Cassidy has told reporters that he is trying to prevent benefits from being cut as the program goes insolvent. Both the president and the former president are campaigning to protect Social Security, but not offering much of anything on how they plan to do it. Cassidy said that a cut in benefits could cause poverty among the elderly to nearly double. If Washington does nothing in about a decade, Social Security will start to run out of money. It's funded by workers' taxes and any surpluses or interest earnings in the trust fund. The program cannot borrow money on its behalf. So the only option once existing funds are exhausted would be a nearly 25% cut for all recipients on Social Security. It's not a win for anybody. It's unlikely Washington will let it get to that point, but Social Security is popular and economically crucial for most Americans. But few in positions of power are trying to actually come up with a fix to actually prevent it from happening. About 2 years ago, this bill already was created. He said, the Senator Bill Cassidy said, it occurred to me that we could address this by creating an investment fund. It would prevent a 24% decrease in benefits. Now, some independent senators like Angus King are already caucusing with Democrats to begin their pitch on this big idea to save Social Security. The pitch goes to prevent and invest $500 billion over 5 years in one of the independent investment funds separate from Social Security. Now, the government actually have to borrow money to pay for scheduled benefits, and the fund will be managed independently for Congress, with the intention of preventing future political interference. Now, Cassidy concedes his plan only partially solves the solvency program. It does not address the tougher questions about raising taxes or the retirement age, but he said at a minimum, it would not raise taxes on seniors or affect anyone close to retirement. Cassidy and his staff have been working with other lawmakers to get feedback and make changes as they go. There was a short window where Cassidy thought Biden might engage on Social Security after the midterms, but so far Joe Biden hasn't done anything to announce his plan to help Social Security beneficiaries. But back in April, more than 66 million people took home a benefit check from Social Security. Now 50 million of which were retired workers. Among these retirees, close to 90% rely on a monthly payout to cover some portion of their monthly expenses. Whether you're already retired or have just earned the workforce, surveys consistently show that most Americans will lean on their Social Security payout in some capacity during the golden years. In other words, maximizing what you'll receive from the Social Security program is important. All told, more than half a dozen elements can impact what you bring home monthly or to keep from the benefit checks. As an example, Social Security benefits became taxable above certain income thresholds. Additionally, a dozen states tax and Social Security payouts to some varying degree. But so far, when whittled down to the basics, 4 components are ultimately responsible for determining Social Security. It's your work history and, of course, your retirement age. Folks, we got 10 news about the 4th stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI and SSDI. Now, there's a ton of information that you guys definitely want to know about this. Continue watching. We have a lot of information about this.
Per month. This is, it's never happened before. And look, history's been made here. But it comes alongside the largest drop in unemployment rate in a single year on record.
The Senate in history of the United States has been amazingly and extraordinarily productive. 20 months into the Democratic majority, I just want to take a moment to highlight the many, many accomplishments we have secured in this chamber under Democratic leadership. It's the most in recent memory. The American Rescue Plan, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Gun Safety Bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, an omnibus package, and many other bills in between. Senate Democrats have worked hard every step of the way to improve the lives of American people, to help those in the middle class stay there, to help those struggling to get into the middle class a little easier to get there. And we will continue to do our work for the American people this week by passing a CR to keep the government open.
Benefits have lost around 40% of their buying power. One of the biggest proposals in the works is an increase in benefits. For people who are ages 80 and older, not only will this help older adults maintain buying power, but it will also provide a boost for retirees who are running low on savings. And while nothing is set in stone, this plan does propose increasing benefits by around 5%. And it's one of Washington's most divisive proposals, as only 53% of Americans, 53% of Republicans are in favor of voting for it. So if the Republicans decide to block this stimulus check, that means we won't be getting any stimulus payment if President Biden can't get this past the Republicans. But hopefully everybody he can, because President Biden can definitely send out stimulus checks if he's done it before. Now, the nearly 1.9 million borrowers who paid off their loans during the pause and those who refinanced their student loans during the pause into private loans do not qualify for the automatic stimulus check. Yes, people are getting automatic stimulus checks because in August, Biden extended the pause on repayment, interest, and collections, which began back in March 2020. And according to the Office of Federal Student Aid, about 9 million federal student loan borrowers have made at least one check and one payment to April 20 to March 2022 of this year. So the application for loan forgiveness will become available in October, next month. Borrowers are expected to advise and apply before November 15th in order to receive a check before the end of the year. And we all know how important it is for people to receive the stimulus check, so hopefully President Biden can do something about this and help out the American people. Guys, it is here. President Biden can finally do something for the American people that's valuable, and that's sending out stimulus checks before the end of the year. A stimulus check of $2,000 or even $1,400 has to be approved by December of 2022 if President Biden has any hope of making the American people happy. Now everybody, the whole goal of this channel is to provide you with the most up-to-date, reliable stimulus check information from anything on stimulus aid, relief assistance, low-income benefits, Social Security benefits, and as well as stimulus check news. I'll always
take this opportunity to wish everybody a very happy holiday season and a wonderful new year. And what I wanted to discuss very briefly with you is the fact that I will soon be assuming the chairmanship of the U.S. Senate's Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, one of the most important committees in the Congress. And as I move into that position, which has very broad jurisdiction over many of the major issues facing our country, let me tell you what's on my mind and what kind of committee I would like to lead. And I also want at this moment to ask for your help, because in the final analysis, as I think most of you know, real change never comes from the top on down, not from Washington to the rest of the country. It always comes from the bottom on up, when millions of people at the grassroots level stand up and fight for what they need. But let me say a few words now about some of the issues that we will be dealing with. And let me start off with our dysfunctional